Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are continuing World War III and what if civilization started over. I have updated the alliance map before I started recording, so there are some new people I would like to show. First off, Philippines have joined the war on the side of the Circle team. Next we look down in South America as Uruguay and Brazil have joined the war on opposite sides, as well as Mexico joining the war on the side of the Circle team. So that will open up some new fronts, and let's get into it. This time we're gonna start off probably over here, getting back to this war. Alaska and these guys are being heavily funded, but it doesn't last long, as now this country right here, the green team, has basically collapsed by now. And mostly because in major cities, you can see their only other major city has been captured. But the blue team, they're using this as a staging ground to go into the lime team as well. And this is not good for them at all. Because now they're invading into this team. And they even captured this major city, which is going to kind of make them retreat a little bit. All this land falls back to Alaska, and they make slow, steady pushes. And they go up, and they capture the rest of this area up here. All this. And now it's looking very bad for these guys up here. It gets so bad that the green team has officially collapsed, and America has to send troops into this area. And now they're going to start fighting back, and they have to occupy the area because the green team is gone. But they are able to hold out a little bit, and they make a defensive front like right here. Down here, it's still going about the same. Nothing's really changed. We do see with the opening of Mexico in this, they are actually winning a bit on this side. And they go about all the way to like this. This country is getting a little bit of help though. And with that help, they're able to push back to about like this. And right here, they are able to push back, leading to the surrender of some troops right here. And they're going to be able to hold out for just a little bit until Cuba is going to make a landing on in this little the Yucatan Peninsula, I think. Is that right? Let me check. Yeah, the Yucatan Peninsula. That's right. So they make a landing on this little peninsula. It wasn't that fortified, but they ended up sending some troops down it. And they meet up with these troops right here, which leads to a pushback on this front. And some of these troops are going to fall back to save their country a little bit, which leads to probably about this much of a pushback. But that does come at some of these troops leaving. And this front looks about like this. And every episode we'll probably do about like 2 check-ins with each front. And now we're going to look at the South American front. Of course, in the alliances we have it looks like this. Now there's going to be the third party alliance. This team these alliances are going to join up with these guys. Because all that time ago, they revolted and whatever happened. My history wasn't so good, but I believe there was a yellow team down here. And the yellow team collapsed and it led to all this mess. And eventually, this area down here gets folded very quickly. And they even take a major city. In this little country, they're gonna go in as well to this area, and they're just gonna do this. Brazil is losing on this part of the front, but on the other front, they are invading into southern Venezuela. They're very weak. They just took their most populated city, and they're basically Amazon rainforest, which is not good for them. And it gets about like this, and they even capture the capital, leading to the surrender of this country. And some of this territory was like disputed, and it's going to be taken over by Venezuela. The HRE, they're just going to stay out of this for now, which is, it's basically this country. It's an alliance between 3 countries. You would count it as an alliance, like Aegis Pro does it, but I'm just going to have it as a union. Meanwhile, Argentina is thinking very strongly about joining the war. They are the strongest in South America. If we look at the power rankings, they are, I believe, 14th. No one else in South America is that strong. So they were deciding on it. They're not going to join the war yet. Because if they did, they would be joining the war on the side of Brazil. And they don't really want that because them and Brazil aren't the best of allies. But since this northern territory has been conquered, it leads to Brazil pushing back just a little bit, taking both of their major cities back down here. And a little bit against this team. Not much though. About that much is taken. And we're going to probably look at another place. This is probably going to be the biggest war we've seen yet. I mean, of course, almost every continent is active in fighting currently. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Oceania. After we get to the rest, we're going to see how Oceania gets involved in this. And we're going to take a look up at the north. These two, they're not getting aided very much. The southern one here, the one in the back is it's fine, but these two are not fine. As the march inward continues, and the city is finally sieged. Spain is going to do something. They're just going to go through the blue team to get to this area down here. So they basically just capture the blue team, take over down here, which they do succeed in. And eventually the capital is taken of this country, which leads to the surrender of this country they've surrendered. And the rest of this country, we're going to change that. The rest of this country eventually just falls over to each of these countries. And it goes something like this. And now we see North Africa out of the war. Spain can now send help up. And Spain is the strongest out of the alliance. And now we're going to move back down here. As the front line over here, South Africa is doing very good. They are actually pushing back because they're very strong. And we see them capturing this area and taking some of their area back over here. And up here, though, the red team is going to slowly creep in, following the coast, and taking this major city right here, which leads to a surrender of the troops inside of this encirclement. This was one of the biggest encirclements in the war, as probably about 200,000 troops were encircled here. And this is going to be very eventful because it leads to a fallback of some of the troops over here as well. And it leads to the purple team taking advantage of this and actually invading in with the help of the red team. Down here though, South Africa is very strong. We know this. I've talked about it already some today. They're going to continue pushing up. There's nothing stopping them. This is just probably like a minor setback to them. And as this little major city, I think, is captured, a lot more aid is going to be sent from the blue team. Meanwhile, the blue team is focusing in on this little country that just got invaded by them. They're going to take about half of it and some of the northern half to get into the green team. The southern half is going to be taken by some of these troops, however. It's purple team troops. And now the blue team is using this as a staging ground to attack the green team from the south. And they even have another front line that makes the green team troops fall back. And then the red team is going to go ahead and take over this front line right here. Like this. Meanwhile, we need to take just a quick stop at the religion map. We can see the green team. They have a lot of religion. They've been trying to get rid of it, as we know. I'm gonna go ahead and draw up like a quick border of that, so that we can see how the ethnic cleansing is going on. This is just a quick update. This probably happened before the war. And now we can move into religion. And yeah, they are line teams, so they're gonna go ahead and move into some of these other religions. This purple team religion down here, it's all taken over. It's all gone. It's all part of this religion now. And they have finally cleansed their whole area of this other religion. Some of these areas, though, are gonna be like outside. They're gonna be kind of converted into out of the lime team. But if the lime team, or if the green team does win this war, they could potentially get some new. They could potentially get more land that they can cleanse. But meanwhile, we need to head south here as the blue team is continuing moving through. And they move a little bit more through until the green team, I guess they're heading the game, and starts pushing back. And they even push back on this front line over here. How am I going to get rid of this? What the Sigma? This is the shape of the green team, apparently. We can move this all over the world and compare it. I've never done this before. I didn't even know how this worked. Make it larger, smaller. How do we delete it, though? Oh. No thanks. Ooh, how do I do this? We're just gonna... No, so, I'll get back to you when I figure this out, and then we'll take a look at another section of the war. And now, we're going to be looking up here in Europe. Europe is going good so far. The fascists are kind of winning, but they're kind of not. We do see nukes being launched, but from the yellow team side, as they go down and they lose a ton of nukes, and they're down to probably about 15 nukes by this. And this means they launched 8 nukes. We can go ahead and see this. They're going to launch them. Some of them into different places. And there's all 8 of them launched. One of them went into Sonic Team. The other 6 went into this team, and 1 got shot down. So there we go. It went just like that. But we also need to see something else happening, and that is the Science Team launching nukes back. And they are going to go down to 47 nukes. Which means they just launched 20 nukes. And they have made it to where they have launched 4 nukes into each of these countries right here. And if we look at that, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Each one of these, there's just another nuke. And that should be 5 nukes in each, which means, yep. So, they have launched 20 nukes, and the cost is pretty much effective immediately. Right after the orange team had launched those nukes, they had gained a little bit of ground in each of these guys. And the Science and Spain had taken back what the brown team had fought and took in. But as soon as the Science team sends those nukes out, what's going to happen is pretty much immediately. This whole thing is pretty much almost taken. And this one is pretty much taken as the capital is sieged. And there is a advance into orange team and even take one of these radiation areas, going down and taking a lot of this coast they just earned. And from this, they use it and they go into the Spanish team. And this hurts a lot. A lot of land was just lost here. Even though the orange team is going to be able to claim the bottom part of this back, and even help the Spanish team get some of their land back. the result is gonna be immediate. It's not looking good anymore. And this is our first update for this area. There were some areas that aren't going to have like fighting around, like the green team and Estonia. So we won't look at like those areas much. But meanwhile, the red team, they have decided that this landing is basically theirs. They were the ones who landed here. And now they're supplying, they can supply this little area right across the, is this the Persian Gulf? Yeah, the Gulf of Oman, technically. So, yeah. And they are just rapidly attacking. There's not much they can do here, the blue team. Even though it is getting help, it's not very much. But they are able to go up through here just a little bit more. They're trying to meet up with the red team border. Trying to get some damage in. And now we look over just a little bit onto the brown team. As the red team has done something with the help of the blue team, as they have both just attacked the brown team together in a joint operation. And the red team and the blue team are super close. Like, really, really close. So this operation goes very well. As a lot of land is taken in the first days. But the brown team is going to take a lot of it back as well, though. Forcing them back into this little area right here, where they're going to be able to hold out for a while. Down here, Madagascar is taken a lot. Slowly being taken over. These islands are taken over. And now we need to look up in this part of Asia. As if we look at the alliances, the brown team is flooding their troops into this country. It's not going well. This country pretty much immediately falls. Just like that. They could not do anything. They can't even, they probably couldn't even hold out an invasion from this pink team up here. And now, they even launch an invasion into the top one. It's farther from home, so it doesn't go as well. But with the help of this team right here, they're able to get rid of it all the way. And we see something weird happening. Bangladesh, with the help of that front line, they are able to make a greater invasion, and it gets pretty far. But then the brown team does something, and they go ahead and attack from this little place of the team they just attacked. And they even gained some of their land back up north. Just like this. And Bangladesh is getting really scared now. They're going to hold out a little bit longer. And eventually, this little invasion doesn't go as well. But this does lead to this fullback retreat over there. And another little invasion of this area. So a lot of back and forth fighting over here. Next up, we have over here, the big mess that is over here. This little country right here, it's gonna collapse. And when it does collapse, it's taken control of by the puppet state right here. so that they can launch better invasions, and they have a bigger block. And so now we need to draw the new borders for this. So as we just saw, that team collapsed, and now it's part of the puppet state right here. Just like this. And this leads to more help to the Bangladesh team. And someone is going to join this war. And it's going to be, if you guessed it, it is actually Vietnam. They joined the war. But we don't really know on the side of who yet. And they decide they want to choose with the winning team who they think it's going to be. And they think it's going to be the Star Alliance. So they joined all the Star Alliance. And Vietnam is very strong. In power rankings, if I wouldn't have forgotten, they would have probably been top 10. Let's see. They'd probably be right after Argentina, actually. So, around there, around that area. It just depends, though. And it's gonna be pretty immediate. This team is invaded. Their access would have been cut off if the puppet state wasn't there. Which leads to Indonesia taking control, almost full control. Besides for the area by the capital, but the rest of it is taken over and controlled. Meanwhile, an invasion into China has been going through, and it is succeeding very well. China's government is struggling to keep up. What does happen though is Japan is going to take control of Taiwan, not Sri Lanka, and they're going to officially join the Circle Alliance. So they officially joined. We're gonna put it right there.
6 more fences. Try to grab it, okay? If you grab it, I'll
There we
take
go.
more, okay? Grab it and then I will be a fire.
And we're gonna turn off the alliances again. Major city, we can see how it's going out. And communist China is going to take control of one of these major cities. And they already have two of the Koreas. And it gets so bad for Korea that this whole little area is taken over. And Korea is not doing too well right now. They're not the strongest. And the red Japanese country, we don't talk about them very much. They are a monarchy, but they are going to go ahead and join up with the Star Alliance because they do not like the pink Japanese team. So they join. I always forget to put it on the right layer. Okay. There we go. And it is done. The pink Japanese team was expecting this. They knew they had pretty bad relations. And they're going to immediately head toward the capital. And it's taken over pretty much instantly. Just like this. And they have to hold out at the top island, even though a little bit is taken over. Now Korea is going to make a landing just to get this country out of the way. They go very fast and take it all over. leading to its defeat.
He caught 3 times. So I will be at 1 time at 4.
And there we go.
Catch it,
Now,
and I stay.
I think Japan team is more than just Japan. They are the sole Japan. That place is pretty much collapsed. This country right here is doing okay. And then a new front, again, is going to open up. This time with Mongolia, as Mongolia is joining the war on the side of the Circle Alliance.
Grab it and I get up.
And now this is going to open up more fronts, especially in the red team and this purple team. And it's going to help claim these countries back down here. This pink one is not yet lost. They have revived it in the north. And eventually, they make an invasion into this pink country. This purple country. And almost cut it off from this little area, leading to it claiming some more area. Up here, we see this orange country right here. They joined the war on, if you have not guessed, they are communist. I just forgot to color them in. If you remember the backstory with it, you'll know that they broke away from Mongolia actually, and they united with this little team right here until they eventually broke away. But then they became, it was like farmers. The farmers like broke away. If you look at the province map, the provinces are way bigger because they didn't really feel like trying to settle it down and just have better stuff like that. Which leads to this country over here that broke away from them. They want nothing to do with them. So it leads to them joining the Circle Line. Yes, not them. Okay. Which it leads to them joining the Circle Alliance. So now we have a whole big new front in Asia. We're not going to look at this front today, though. We're going to be looking down here as the invasion of the Philippines is going great. We've seen that this is the 3rd time in history, or no, the 4th time in history this has happened. And the Philippines are gone, basically. Remember when I said down here was going to be getting, they were going to be getting some countries involved? Well, it does end up happening as this team, the Southern Australia, joins the war on the Star Team. We know that they were with the fascists, and this is going to lead this team right here to join the team, and Palau out here to join the Circle Team, which leads to the puppet state being basically, we're just going to color it in right now. They're part of the team now. We're just going to say this so that we can actually see like how this works, because it would be hard with those like borders there. And basically, in the first days, they get a good invasion force out, but it's going to pretty much stop until Australia does get in there, and they do take even more in some islands over here. And we can turn alliances off. Alliances were never on. This is gonna make us. Oh, this sucks. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to go back quite some time.
One more bounce, Bessie. And if you don't catch it,
And
I'll go back in my room.
we need to redo all this. Just like I said, these two join the Circle
If you
Team.
don't catch this one, I go back in my room, okay? Thank you. Click on it.
This team, like I said,
Right heel. Right heel.
there we go. They joined the Star Team. And like I said, this country, part of this team now. Boom. And we're just gonna update the invasion just like I had it. Something about like this. And just like that, we see every single continent involved in World War III. This is going to be a huge war. As currently, let's see how many countries we have involved in the war. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Around 60 countries are involved in World War III. This is going to be a big mess. And if I had to say a country or a team that was winning, it's pretty much mixed all over the place. We'll get an update for North America. Number one, the countries that would be winning in North America technically are going to be the communist. Down in South America, it would technically be the communists as well. Over here, it's pretty mixed, but I would say that democracy is winning down here. In Europe, I would say that it's probably about even. In the left part of Asia, so that's like over in this front, and then that front will be a different area. So in this part of Asia, I would say democracy is winning. In the right part of Asia, however, I would say that democracy is losing. And in Oceania, democracy is winning. So that's like 2 or 3 fronts that democracy is winning. Africa, left Asia, and Oceania. Everywhere else is pretty much losing. The only places that are really tying it together are Brazil and USA that are helping. So, yeah, that's really going to do it for today's episode. We're not going to update the nuke count right here. We're going to do that at the beginning of tomorrow's episode. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.